All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to look at a pretty massive shift happening in the worlds of engineering and construction, and we'll do it by following the 3-year journey of one company. It's a story all about moving past simple digital blueprints and into something called engineering intelligence. So, let's get into it. It all kicked off with this one really powerful idea. See, for decades, the whole game was just about creating 3D models. This statement right here, it signals a total change in direction. The goal isn't just to see a building on a screen anymore. It's to make that digital version smart, responsive, and something you can actually measure. This is the central idea we're going to unpack today. Okay, so let's rewind to the very beginning. This was never just about starting another company. It was about building a whole new philosophy from the ground up. From day one, it was engineered with a very clear, very specific intent. So this timeline shows way more than just a company anniversary. In just 3 years, this idea to completely redefine building information modeling, BIM, has gone from just a concept to a real, proven approach. It's the story of taking a powerful idea and making it actually work in the real world. And this right here really hits the nail on the head. Look, anyone can make a pretty-looking 3D model, but the mission here was to pack those models with so much data that they stop being static pictures and start becoming actual tools for making decisions. It's the difference between saying, yeah, I think this will work, and knowing for a fact that the data proves this is the best way to do it. So that brings us to this really fundamental leap in thinking. How, exactly, do you make a model intelligent? Well, it means you have to completely change what you're asking your digital tools to do in the first place. And this chart just lays it out perfectly. In the past, BIM was all about coordination. The big question of the day was, hey, does this plumbing pipe run into that electrical conduit? It was basically logistics, but engineering intelligence flips the script. The focus becomes control, and the question changes to which one of these HVAC systems is going to perform best in this specific climate, and tell me why. The model stops being just a digital drawing and becomes an active decision-making engine. So the key concept here is turning the model into a data-rich ecosystem. Think of it less like a file you open on your computer and more like a living, breathing database. Every single part of it, from a huge steel beam down to a tiny light fixture, holds live, actionable information you can use to analyze, predict, and optimize the entire project. Now, this all sounds fantastic in theory, right? But what does this new approach actually look like when you apply it to the messy, complex, high-stakes world of modern construction? So this is the tech stack, the real nuts and bolts of it all. You build intelligence by layering in new dimensions of data. So 4D, that's adding time into the model for scheduling. 5D adds cost, giving you this complete picture of the project's timeline and budget. You can run simulations to test things like energy use before a single brick is ever laid. And that last part, digital twin readiness, it's a fancy way of saying the model is built from the start to become a living digital counterpart of the real building, ready to mirror its operations for its entire life. And here is why all that tech is such a game changer. When you're working on incredibly complex projects, like, say, high-performance data centers where every single second of downtime costs a fortune, this approach gives you real, tangible results. We're talking about minimizing downtime, optimizing building systems so they're way more efficient, and having an execution plan that's actually predictable, because you've already simulated it. Your decisions aren't guesses anymore. They are 100% backed by data. But let's be really clear about something. You can have the most advanced software on the planet, but it's totally useless without the right people using it. Technology enables change, for sure, but it's the people who actually drive it. And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? A company's real foundation isn't its software licenses or its fancy computers. It's the team. It's the thinkers, the innovators, the problem solvers who know how to ask the right questions and then use these powerful tools to find the answers. So the way the team works, it kind of boils down to this clear 3-step process. They take a ridiculously complex challenge, use their expertise to cut through the noise and find clarity, and then they deliver a really elegant engineered solution, usually under a ton of pressure. It's a repeatable formula for turning chaos into order. So where does this all go from here? Where does this evolution of engineering intelligence head next? Because believe me, this journey is far from over. The stuff on the horizon is, frankly, even more exciting. We're talking about integrating AI to automate really complex design work. We're talking about real-time digital twins that mirror a building's operations second by second. And we're even talking about baking carbon consciousness right into the design process itself. The ultimate goal is to manage the entire life of an asset, from the very first sketch to its final demolition, all inside one intelligent system. So the ultimate vision is becoming crystal clear. We're moving towards buildings and infrastructure that are predictive. They can actually anticipate needs and failures before they happen. They'll be responsive, adapting to changing conditions in real time. And yeah, eventually they'll become autonomous, able to self-optimize their own performance. Which leaves us with this final and pretty provocative thought. For centuries, we've spent all our time telling our buildings what to do. But we are getting incredibly close to an era where our buildings can start telling us how to be better. So what really happens when our buildings can think? The implications are just staggering, and we are only just beginning to find out.